Focaccia bread. Welcome back to Kitchen Tasty. Today we will be making focaccia bread. Here are the ingredients. 1.5 cups all-purpose flour, half cup mozzarella, 1/4 cup parmesan, half tablespoon active dry yeast, half cup marinara, half cup warm water, 3 tablespoon Italian seasoning, 1.5 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon black pepper, half teaspoon sugar, and 2 minced garlic cloves. Begin. So to start, we will take the flour and put it in a bowl along with salt, garlic, sugar, black pepper, yeast, and herbs. And we will just whisk it together until all is mixed together. So now we've whisked together all the dry ingredients, and we will add about 1 tablespoon of oil. So just a little bit. And then we can just mix this together with our hands to sort of coat the flour with oil. Coated the flour with oil, and we will add the warm water. The warm water helps to activate the yeast, and so we're just going to add the water. You can add it little by little and knead this into a fairly loose dough. So we can just keep going, adding the water little by little. The dough is sort of sticky, so we will take a little bit more flour and just sprinkle it over the dough and finish kneading it. Now we're going to put some oil in the bowl, and then we can just finish kneading it. So I'm just going to finish kneading it. It will start to get less sticky now. Here I have coated all this with oil. It's much less sticky now, and just kneaded it all the way so the oil is everywhere in the dough. And now I have a damp cloth here, and we're just going to cover this with the damp cloth and let it rise in a warm place for about 20 to 25 minutes. Meanwhile, while the dough is rising, we will prepare our pan or baking sheet to bake the bread. So here I've cut this parchment paper to fit the pan. We're just going to line the bottom, and we have some cooking spray, and we're going to spray the whole pan with it. And then we can just set this aside for now. Let's see how our dough has risen. Wow, so it's gotten almost double or triple the size it was before we raise it. And now we're just going to punch down the dough. When you do this, you can hear and you'll feel that it's very airy. And there we go. And then we can just take this and take the pan that we had prepared, and we're going to put the dough in it and pat it into a 1/2 inch rectangle. Here I am spreading the dough into a rectangle, and it should be about a 1/2 inch thick. Now I've patted this into a rectangle, and we're going to just pour a little bit of oil on the bread dough, and we're just going to spread it and just coat the bread, and we're going to put it to rise again for 20 minutes in a warm place with the damp cloth. So here we go. I've spread the oil, and I'm just going to take my cloth again. It should still be damp, and we're going to rise it in a warm place. About 20 minutes since we set this to rise, and let's see how it is. So you can see it's risen a lot, and it's much airier. And now I've also set the oven to preheat to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're going to make dimples in the bread or dough to help it cook and for your toppings to stay if you're putting toppings. So we're just going to make dimples. Okay, there we go. So now what we're going to do is, this is optional, but it does help to spread some marinara on it. It just helps from the top burning a little bit. So I'm just going to spread a very thin layer. You don't have to. Usually I'm not putting any toppings, so if it's better to do this. And then we're just going to put cheese on it and bake it. I put marinara on it, and now I'm just going to spread some cheese on it. If you're putting toppings, I would recommend putting it before the cheese. And you can put any type of toppings. I've done it with tomatoes, olives, and bell pepper. But it tastes good either way. And then I'm going to put some mozzarella on it. There you go. And you can always adjust the amount of cheese for your taste. Some people don't like it, some people love it. So I like it, so I put a fair amount. Okay, and now we're going to bake it. So now I'm just going to put this in the oven, and we're going to bake it for 15 minutes at 450, but you might need a little more. Just check it after 15 minutes. You can see we've baked this focaccia for 15 minutes, and now it's perfectly cooked. And now we can just cut it, and let's find out. So I'm just going to cut it. And if you can just peek inside, it seems like it is cooked. If it's not, then just put it in for another few minutes at a time. It is very airy, and let's find out. We've cut the focaccia, and you can see it's very well cooked from the inside. And this goes great with our minestrone soup recipe by Kitchen Tasty.